Flavors that draw on West African, Spanish, French, and Amerindian cultures all blended together to create one of the most favorite of cuisines, Creole. On this week's Food Friday, we'd like to welcome Chef Frisco Thumbtzen, owner at Charleston Caribbean Creole Food Truck and LOWCOUNTRY Creole Culinaire Catering Company. Thank you for joining us.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, folks can try your food truck at the upcoming Juneteenth celebration at Waterfront Park, but first, I want you to give us, I kind of gave an abstract of what Creole cuisine is. Maybe coming from the expert, you can tell us what those flavors actually taste like.
The Creole cuisine, believe it or not, I did before I started to Charleston. I kind of researched and found out that not just Gullah and cuisine is connected to the Creoles and Caribbean. It's all blended, and it's almost pretty much the same as in Cajun and Creole. So the Gullah cuisine and Creole is pretty much close without the heat. So I kind of put things together, kind of take away the heat, but still bring out the Cajun Creole flavors, and then merge in the Charleston seafood to bring it together. It's the heat coming out is the most important. Come to find out, a lot of Charlestonians do not do heat on this side of South, believe it or not.
That's really interesting. It's amazing how as you move west or north to south, the flavors change quite drastically. And when people think of Creole cuisine, they think of Louisiana. And you've got some ties to Louisiana, is that right?
Yes, I have family. Captain Rue is a relative of mine. Believe it or not, I have land that's been in our family for 250 years.
Wow.
In Florida. Apparently, I guess you could say the slave owner married on the white side and also married a black woman on the black side. And they lived equally in this small town called Jasper. And we suppose of my family are educated from all the way through, and they equally, even the kids are named after each other on both sides. So it's a interesting story. It's a long story.
It's a fascinating history, isn't it? It's a fascinating history. And when you think about cuisine, you're keeping that history alive, that it's something living that people can try and taste and feel and smell and experience today. And that's what you do with your companies. Tell us a bit more about just some of the items that are on your menu.
What I did was I combined some popular things from the Caribbean and Creole. So let's go with the Creole. I do have the gumbo, the chicken and sausage gumbo, and I made it more friendlier by taking some of the pork out. So we use beef or turkey sausage. And so that makes it more usable and for everybody who's trying to get off the pork and stuff like that. And then, of course, we do the po' boys, which is very popular. And then the fried baskets, fried shrimp, catfish, whiting, and all these things that, kind of go well with the Caribbean side. So then we go to the the Caribbean, and I have the jerk chicken, which is popular from Jamaica. We do a ropa vieja, which is a Cuban dish, which works really well. And then we do a pork pernil or benin, which is a Puerto Rican pork dish. And we bring those off and on, depending on how hot it is, and that comes and go. But the fried seafood dishes, the crab rices, which is our world famous dish, which everyone likes. And so I kind of bounce back and forth with those ingredients and kind of merge it, but break it apart and merge it in a certain form. And not exactly. People ask me, they say, is this just like Jamaica? I said, no, this is Charleston Caribbean. They was like,
love that.
Well, what is that? They was like, well, let me show you. So no one can compare me to Jamaica, to any parts in the Caribbean except for Charleston. And that works out.
Well, Chef, all of that sounds incredibly delicious. When we come back after the break, I want to talk about where people can have this Charleston Caribbean Fair. We're going to do that in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. On this week's Food Friday, we've been chatting with Chef Frisco of Charleston Caribbean Creole Food Truck and Lowcountry Creole CULINAIRE Catering Company. People can try your wares in a number of places. I want you to tell us, first of all, your truck, where do you take it and how often is it on the road where people can sample your Charleston Caribbean cuisine?
Well, lately over the pandemic times, we've been in a lot of housing areas. So you can catch us a lot in different housing areas or HOAs. It could be your HOA that do food truck Fridays, Wednesdays, or Tuesdays. We could be on the schedule from there. The biggest thing is street food finders or on our website, charlestoncaribbeancreole.com. There says find food truck, and we have a calendar on there, and you can see where we're going to be.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's great. And you also have a catering company, but people can also do takeout at 3316 Ashley Phosphate Road. But you're also going to be at the Juneteenth Freedom Fest in Charleston. That's happening June 19th. Doors open at 2, and people can come and they can celebrate and they can try your most delicious food. I just want to leave you with this one thing. Is there anything that's easy enough for people to maybe sample at home if they want to try their hand at Caribbean food or Creole cuisine?
Yeah, I do jerk chicken, which is a popular one.
Yeah.
I have very, very simple recipe. I kind of changed up my jerk chicken. It's boneless. So I make it like a bowl. And you eat it on top of rice and beans with sweet plantains. And you eat it like an Asian bowl, and it's easy to walk around and carry out. So if you get this kind of new chicken, which is a boneless thighs, and you marinate it in a Lowry's, I think Lowry's in Walmart has a Caribbean marinade in there.
And got the spices.
Use the spices. Yep, it's a marinade, and then you can always buy a Caribbean dry spice. Mix that together with a certain amount of brown sugar, and you can marinate your chicken in that, and then give it a day or two for marinade, and then you'll be able to grill it up simply, and you'll have pretty close without the heat, but the very sweetness of Jamaican cuisine.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
That's easy. That's an easy technique.
Sounds easy enough. And I think the secret is in marinating it long enough. You want to make sure that the flavors really penetrate the protein. Chef, I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you. It was fun to be here. I like doing these.
We're back after this.